First game of the night, and the Clippers managed to get this W. It may not be the prettiest, it was shaky, but we carried off with the beautiful dub. So, first quarter, we were just stomping the living heck out of the Lakers. Like, Kawhi didn't even play, and we were still beating them by like double digits. Second quarter, and that's where we fell apart. That's where we just turned the ball over too much. Third quarter, that's when it was just back and forth. Like both teams, they were playing pretty sloppy. Lakers was just playing like their usual self, and the Clippers, we had a lot of turnovers, and we just essentially like also missed a lot of key shots as well too. But fourth quarter, that's when we ultimately got the W. But now let's go player by player. Like first of all, let's talk about the Lakers. Let's just get over with. Anthony Davis, he was like their best player. He had like 25 points. He made 2 threes, which is more threes than he usually would make. And he almost got hurt. He kind of did, especially when he went up against Kawhi Leonard. But he didn't. He later did manage to play. Like first quarter, first half he did good. Then second half he kind of like, well, mainly fourth quarter he kind of disappeared. But he was like their best player nevertheless. But he had a lot of moments when he got exposed by Zubac. Zubac was just crushing him, and he just got some hooks and dunks. And next, Lonnie Walker. Lonnie Walker was like their second leading scorer, 23 points. He had one of his better games, which is pretty rare to see. But nevertheless, he scored 23 points, and I'd be really happy if I were him. But then let's go to LeBron. LeBron James, 20 points, 2 for 8, and he pretty much missed so many shots in the second half. And the fourth quarter, he was just straight up shooting a lot of bricks, and pretty good to see. Pretty good to see. That's why Kawhi is the better player. Like, because Kawhi, he don't throw up bricks. He just throws up a bunch of swishes. And basically, like, LeBron, he also, like, managed to get a lot of good foul calls, especially, like, when he just gets lightly tapped or when he just falls on his own and he just managed to go to the line, especially when Paul George grabbed the ball from, well, he was kind of like grabbing the ball from LeBron, but he pretty much got called for a foul, which is, pretty pathetic, but nevertheless, let's go to Kendrick Nunn. Now, Kendrick Nunn, he was supposed to be the savior. He was supposedly the reason why the Lakers did not make it to the playoffs. But what happened? What happened? He just ran around, did nothing. He missed shots. He was just a non-factor. Supposedly the guy that was supposed to get the Lakers to the playoffs. And then you got other players like Juan Toscano Anderson. I guess he had some good defensive plays, but that's just pretty much it. He made 1 3, that's it. And Austin Reeves, same thing over here, same thing as Juan. And then Russell Westbrook. Don't even really need to get me started with Russell Westbrook. he was just throwing up bricks. Like, I believe he went 0 for 8 from threes, which is, that is, whew, that was just pretty funny to see. He was just straight up breaking left and right. And Patrick Beverly didn't do much better either. Like, Patrick Beverly, he actually played like what people said he was 2 years ago. Quote unquote, run around and do nothing. That's what he really did. He did bring some momentum. I'll give him that. I still like him. But I kind of like him a little bit more after all the breaks he threw up for the Lakers. And I believe that's pretty much it. Like, the rest of the Lakers roster, they was just pretty mediocre. Like, they were just straight up shooting bricks. Like, and that's what happens if you trade all the young core and all your picks for like, a quote unquote proven superstar. You just dig yourself in the hole, and probably the Lakers are just probably gonna dig themselves in a deeper hole by trading the rest of their picks in Russell Westbrook for some false hope role player, and they just don't have the picks for the rest of the year. And now let's go to the Clippers. So Kawhi Leonard came off the bench, but nevertheless he was still swishing. He had 16 points, and his mid-range was just so satisfying to see. He was cooking Russell Westbrook. He was cooking everybody who was essentially on him. Like Juan Toscano Anderson and Reeves had to guard Kawhi. Straight up barbecue chicken. Heck, straight up Popeye's chicken. Extra crispy. Kawhi just reminding everybody that he's the best in the world. Paul George, though. Paul George, he definitely got sloppy. Like, especially like his ball handling could use some work. Like, he kind of like got a little bit slower in this game. He pretty much he got 5 turnovers, which is pretty bad. But the whole team got like a lot of turnovers too, like 23 turnovers, which is that's just crazy that we beat the Lakers despite having 23 turnovers, which is that's just mind-boggling. But either way, I gotta love this win. But nevertheless, despite PG playing bad on the offensive end, on the defensive end, it was pretty good though. Like he got some steals, and which resulted to a nice transition to a wide open dunk, and he also got some rebounds, so that's a plus. Ivica Zubac, who was probably like the MVP of the game, he got 17 boards, and he basically got a double-double. He basically cooked Anthony Davis because Zubac has that strong, sturdy body, and you gotta appreciate how durable he is. Like, he pretty much plays every game. There's no game that he actually gets hurt. You gotta love that. And I feel that Zubac, when he gets put in the right situation, he's pretty good. And this is what I mean. Like, feed Zubac the ball, he does pretty well because he's a traditional big. He pretty much is because that's what traditional bigs do. They stand in post and they wait for the ball to get fed to him. And Zubac also sets some pretty good screens too. So shout out to him for that. And then Norman Powell, Reggie Jackson, both of them, they had off nights. They were missing a lot of shots. Reggie Jackson, he did a little bit better, but both of them still missed a decent amount of shots. And, both were pretty rusty. Nick Batum, kind of the same here. Terrence Mann didn't play much minutes. Luke Kennard, bow. He was swishing it. 3 for 3. Definitely swung the momentum to our favor. And also, his defense was actually pretty solid too, especially when he guarded the man LeBron himself. and LeBron just managed to miss shots and somehow shoot air balls, despite even Luke Kennard. Like he's one of the more of the worst. He's more of on the like the quote unquote bad defender side of the spectrum, but now I think we got to give Luke Kennard some recognition to put him on a good defensive type of spectrum, which is pretty good improvement. Pretty good improvement. He came a long way. And then John Wall. He did not disappoint. He basically was just driving to the basket and he was killing the Lakers with the mid range. Like, my man, John Wall. Like, I like that acquisition. Although, it really sucked that we lost Armstrong, so I guess it was the risk that we had to take. But nevertheless, Wall showed that he showed his worth. And what I say about John Wall is he's basically like the Russell Westbrook minus all the problems. Like his shot selection is pretty good. He actually like takes better IQ shots. Yeah, like his percentage from three is really close to Russell Westbrook, but difference is Russell Westbrook just throws it up. John Wall, he actually takes a wiser selection and he takes less 3 pointers. Like he took 4 3-point shots, while Westbrook took 8. And yeah, he's turnover prone, but not really boneheaded. And he's pretty much he's more selfless than you would think. Like especially if you pay attention to him in the media. Like I heard like a little bit that he kind of said something that he he felt that he could have fed Luke Kennard more from three, and he said that that's his job, and that kind of irked him, which is that's a green flag because that just shows he's a really accountable type of player. And I just love the addition of John Wall. Now, should we start John Wall or should we start Reggie? Like, yeah, Wall is a way better player than Reggie in this game, but we're not gonna forget what Reggie Jackson did during the clutch moments. So I guess either way could be fine because we all know Reggie Jackson. He's known for cooking opposing teams. Fortunately, did not show too much in this game, but you know we all know he's capable of that. And then like Robert Covington, last player I'm going to be covering at the moment. He he's a pretty good defender, and he actually also did perfectly well against LeBron. And he actually like I'm just I just like the addition of Robert Covington. Just a pretty good long 7'3" defender, and you know LeBron definitely missed a good amount of shots, and he also caused a lot of like steals towards the Clippers' favor as well too. Despite him not really making the shots, but he made a lot of impact, a lot of impact. Also, I forgot about Marcus Morris. My bad, but Morris was also cooking the Lakers in the mid range. Like, ooh, just that turnaround fader, man. It's just a swish. He did not make much threes, but he was just cooking in the mid range, which is man. Marcus Morris, he put in a lot of work. Let's just say that. But there's a lot of things that the Clippers could work on, though. Is one thing is just definitely trim down the turnovers, 22 turnovers, and also second thing is we still have a little bit of a bad habit of isoing the ball too much, especially when we would like have a lot of like somewhat of a poor shot selection. Like that's number two. And number three, and that's just for on Tyronn Lue, and you know, I just commonly say this for years, like ever since I just made this channel, is just I would like Tyronn Lue to like maybe like in the next game or at least when we play against Oklahoma City Thunders, I would just love to see some Musa Diabate minute because like let's be real, small ball's not good against every single team. Like when we would play small, sometimes we're more prone of getting cooked, and like some like more crafty player like Anthony Davis, Jokic, Karl Anthony Towns, like they would just resort to the three and they would just make it. So that's when Musa Diabate just would just come in handy. But I'm not gonna really talk about him too much. Like unfortunately he was not in the game, but let's be real, he should be a regular rotational player. Like he's just the ideal antidote about that. I'll probably get in more detail with him, but I'm sure I already did. But this should just wrap up this video. Just let me know, what do you think about this game? Like, it was a sloppy game. It was pretty sloppy. But I'll definitely get with y'all in the comment section. Just be sure to like and subscribe. And as y'all know, have a great night.